Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. This model was launched in 2006, but the example in my hand was produced in 2015. We're discussing the Panerai Luminor 1958 Days GMT PAM 233. So this is a Luminor 1950 style case in steel, 44 millimeters in diameter. You can see 17.6 millimeters thick, and then from lug tip to lug tip, 53.9 millimeters with a 24 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and it wears fine, actually. It's designed to look huge. So if you think it's just a little bit too big, that actually means it's just right. So I can recommend this watch for a wrist of my size or larger. So 16 centimeters circumference and up. It is very thick, though, although it's sloped in profile, so a jacket cuff might actually clear that. The strap, you can see it is calfskin, generously bolstered and thick cut. We've got a contrasting stitch in a sort of ecru tone. Note it's black on the bottom as well, calfskin on the bottom. You can see no crimping, no gouging, brand new Panerai factory strap. It's thickly bolstered with stuffing to give it volume. And you can see it has sides that are sheer but folded, not cut. We have a simple trapezoidal stainless steel pin buckle in the Panerai fashion. Luminor 1950 case form factor. This started in the modern era with PAM 127 and historically with the 6152 combat watch. The device protecting the crown, conceived in the 40s and implemented in the 50s on Panerai watches. The device protecting the crown had several purposes. The first was to remove the need to screw the crown in and out every time the then manual watch was wound and set. So they didn't want to wear out the stem tube assembly or the seals. The way to do that was to create a locking system that would compress and then decompress the crown with no need for a threaded mechanism to seal the crown. So you simply compress and decompress the seal. It doesn't get worn out. The stem doesn't get worn out. Now, when it's unlocked, it's also easy to see that it's unlocked, whereas backing out a screw-down crown 1 or 2 turns could be enough to drown your watch, but also too subtle to notice. Important to recognize, too, that this is a much easier crown to unlock than a very tightly screwed-down crown. So if your hands are wet, sweaty, or gloved, this is easier to manipulate. Also, impact. A shouldered crown guard doesn't give you any protection from a perpendicular hit. This does. It's also iconic. You know which model line and you know which manufacturer. That is probably the most iconic crown in the business. And you can see there's a little rolling in the cam. There's a little rolling bearing in the cam right there. And that helps to smooth out the effort. It is water resistant to 100 meters. And you can see that the release system for the bars that retain the strap, there's this little trigger. You press that down and then you push the bar through. It's easier than testing your amateur watchmaking talents with a screwdriver. And so this is a very deluxe and durable system and more secure than a spring bar, but it still gives you a easy at-home swapping mechanism. Easier than a screw-down bar system and more secure than a spring bar. Taking a look in profile, you can see we have a combination of polish and satin. And then we have a crystal that is, to be sure, sapphire, but it's got a double camber to it to make it sort of distort like a vintage plexi. And then we've got a dial that is a sandwich dial in the Panerai tradition, so a stencil with the numerals and the indices on top of a solid luminescent disc. It gives an interesting depth effect when you turn out the light. And look how completely luminescent this dial is. You've got the primary time zone, the secondary time zone, you've got the running second, you've got the AM PM indicator for the second time zone, you've even got the power reserve indicator, which is the dog fang style Panerai power reserve, the one that moves back and forth with a little dog fang index. A couple things going on here. Okay, we got a second time zone. Both the local time and the second time are in 12-hour sequence, so you can superimpose them and clean up the dial when you don't need that second time zone. Look carefully right there. You see the little triangular index? There are 2 coaxial indicators. One's for running second, one is for AM PM. So even though that secondary time zone is in a 12-hour format, making 2 circuits the dial per day, you know whether you're looking at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. You can see a little wedge is pointing at a.m., so you're looking at 6 a.m. right there. Now take another look at the running seconds hand. See what happens when I pull the crown out? Watch it. It 0 resets. I'll do that so you can see it a little bit better. It's 0 resets straight to 60, so you can set the watch more precisely to the second against a reference time. Give you one last shot of the lume so you can see sort of the depth of the stencil on the sandwich dial. Historically, Radiomir and Luminor were radioactive luminescent paints. Today, they indicate different model lines. So you got 2 different time zones, power reserve indicator, 0 reset hacking seconds, lots going on the case back. 3 mainspring barrels manually wound, 192 hours of power reserve, shock resistant with a full balance bridge and a free sprung balance for impact tolerance. And you can see the design is supposed to evoke the old pocket watch movements from Rolex and Angelus that would have been fitted to historic Panerai watches. 4 Hertz beat rate, 21 joules, 3 barrels, and you can see that the 3/4 style bridge here is split for easier maintenance, but that brushed finish and the idea that it reads as a 3/4 is the idea. And this is a Panerai manufacture caliber built at their Neuchâtel manufacturer. All these early Panerai movements were designed by a man named Eric Klein of Valfleurier, which is Richemont's sort of external clearinghouse for movement design for brands that are not traditional movement manufacturers. But once this movement was designed exclusively for Panerai, Panerai took over the production of it. And there is lots to love. And if you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details. One more fun fact, this is an enormous movement. It was designed to take the place of the old 6497s in Panerai watches, and so it was designed with a diameter of 37.8 millimeters, which makes this movement by itself bigger than a standard Rolex Datejust.